welcome to my video. So in this video I'm going to be talking about me using Gnome. And why I'm using Gnome is because yesterday I really loved using Hyperland. But I didn't test out Hyperland with gaming. So this is why I'm going back to Gnome. And I'm a person that does this, okay? I distro hop, I desktop hop, I window manager hop. I do a lot of things with Linux, so if you guys sub me for, you think I'm just a person that sticks to a particular system, then you're on the wrong channel because this is called Homebrew Hub, and what hobbyist users do is that we like to play around with a lot of different desktops, a lot of different window managers, a lot of different things. We love to tinker with our computers. We like building computers. We like buying refurbished computers and doing crazy things with it, or buy a particular hardware to do a project on something, and then after the project goes into a storage closet, which stays in there collecting dust. Which I have a lot of computers. I have a lot of computers, a lot of old Macs, a lot of iMacs, a lot of Mac Minis, and I got a lot of GPUs because I like go crazy with AMD GPUs, and I'm like, okay, I want to go back on NVIDIA, so I go crazy with NVIDIA GPUs, and then all of a sudden I have all these old graphic cards that's all collected up. I actually have old PlayStations, I have PS Vita, I have a lot of old gaming consoles. I don't even play consoles anymore. I used to. I always been a PC gamer, but I always bought consoles as well because I wanted to play the exclusive game because I was just a true gamer. Like I play games for games. I just play a lot of games. And that's the reason why I'm not using Hyperland anymore. And the reason for that is because of Steam not working correctly on Hyperland. When I try to stream games from my Windows computer, because I do play my PC games mainly on Windows, and I stream it on my Linux box. And if I want to do Linux gaming, I have a Steam Deck to play games on Linux. You get how I do this? And then you're wondering why I use Windows when people think well, Linux is good for gaming. Yes, I know it is. That's why I got a Steam Deck. But I want to get the best performance from my MMO game, Final Fantasy XIV, which Dawn Trail is coming out. It's gonna have a lot of cool cool stuff you can do with your graphic card, or at least have the full support of the whole new upgrade of Dawn Trail. It's really supported for Windows 11 or Windows system. It's not really supported for Linux. It will work on Linux, but what I'm trying to say is that the whole I don't know, DLSS, what it's called, and all this stuff. I don't really know all that technical shit, but basically it's supported for Windows. But also games work better on Windows because the games that I'm playing on Linux are basically Windows games, right? So I'm playing it on Windows because it's the right platform for these games. I'm not saying Linux sucks for gaming. It doesn't. It's actually really good. But if you want the full support of all the games you have, which I have a lot of games, and not all my games run on Linux, so therefore I just use Windows on that particular computer because all that computer does is run games. And I stream it on my V-Link. I stream it on many different devices. And that's why I left Hyperland, because I'm going to use Hyperland for Gentoo. And my Gentoo setup is going to be a computer without me having any gaming what's to do with it whatsoever. I'm not going to have overlays. I'm not going to put Steam from Flatpak. I don't want Steam on it at all. It's going to be a pure Gentoo Linux system. I'll use it for everything else except for Steam gaming. It'll be just a pure Linux box. And I'm going to find a computer for that system, and I'm going to probably buy another piece of hardware. What I'm planning to do is buy a good computer, but not a big computer, but I want to make a media computer for my big screen TV. I have my B-Link, but I want to buy another computer to replace that B-Link. And the difference I want to do, I want to get something a little bit bigger than the B-Link, so I can put I have an RX 6600 AMD graphic card. It's not the best card, but it ain't the worst either. And this card can actually run games pretty good, but it's not like my Nvidia cards. My Nvidia GPUs are way better than this card, but it's actually better than that card is better than it's better than the B-Link because the B-Link uses the Vega 8, which is it's an APU, so like it has like this built-in graphics with the CPU, which uses it says it's a 5800H, which has the Vega 8 or Radeon 8 built-in graphics with the CPU. So it's not bad, but it's not that great either. It barely runs Diablo 4, but with the RX 6600, I even have an RX 580 as well. They're both pretty good cards for gaming. But the RX 6600 is a lot better than the RX 580. But the RX 580 is not a bad card either. It actually can do gaming still pretty good nowadays. But what I want to do, I want to get a computer. Maybe I'm thinking like they have these Intel NUC that are, like the extreme ones. You can put like GPUs in them, and they're pretty compact computers. They're pretty pricey, but I quite like it because I like Intel systems. I don't have much Intel computers. Most of all my computers are AMD, and I like to get an Intel computer. Anyways, where am I getting at this? So the reason why I'm back in Gnome, I'm going back and forth, but I do want to build a Gen 2 system, and I could use Hyperland on it. The thing is, like, I like to have all my computers running games on it, right? I like to make a computer. I like to have all my computers running games. I like Hyperland, but I think it just doesn't work good with Steam. I've been having problems with Steam with Hyperland in the past, and I like Hyperland. I like Waybar. I think these are really great. But the thing is, like, well, I don't know. I think Gnome, to me, is the best desktop, out there, and I know a lot of people are really like happy with they're excited for a cosmic desktop environment. I was too a little bit at first, but I always been skeptical. I like even like a few years ago, like last year, I was skeptical about it. I'm still skeptical about it. I used it. It's not. I don't find it really. To me, I don't like it. I don't personally like it. Because the reason why I don't really like it, this is a personal take. Don't hate me for this. Don't unsubscribe my channel. Believe me, I just use everything, man. If you see me liking Gnome or praising on KDE, it's because I am. I'm actually happy with the system or happy with that at the moment. But when I discover things that are like being buggy, like that thing glitching out there in the corner. When things are buggy, I don't know, why is it doing that? I don't know why it's glitching like that. That is really weird. Anyways. So, the thing is, when things are buggy, I get kind of annoyed. And when I get annoyed, I go on something that works good for me. Because I test out a lot of things. I know what I like. You know what I mean? But I always like to test out other things like Hyperland, which is great. I like Hyperland. I don't hate it just because I'm not on it now, and I was on it yesterday. I want to stick with something, but to me with Linux right now, there's nothing that I can say that is really stable. The only thing I find that's been really stable with me, for the most part, is Gnome. And the one thing I don't like about Gnome, it doesn't have a system tray. I have to use an extension to put a system tray. And also I need dash and dock to make my dock visible because it's hidden on Gnome. And I understand like how they're the whole workflow of what they're all about and what they're doing with their desktop. I get it. but I like to see my dock visible. At least have the options to do it. You know what I mean? And I also like blur my shell, but apparently they don't want to have any cool effects with their desktop. They like to make. I don't know what's up with like all these operating systems. They're making all these flat things, making everything basic and minimalistic and minimal, or whatever you want to call it. Just I don't know. Some people like that, but I'm not. I'm not into that flat Metro Windows 8 kind of look. I'm sorry. I miss the time where even Apple make really cool interface. Even Windows 7 and Windows Vista, they like Arrow was pretty nice, man. I mean, I don't know what's up with all the flat stuff, but I mean, you can do cool things like this is all like kind of flat interface, the theme I'm using here, but Blur My Shell is really nice. Why can Gnome have like a frost transparency effect on their panel? Why can they have that? And why can they have their dock visible? And why can they have a system tray? Hmm? I that's but anyway, other than that, GNOME works really well. When it comes to running Steam games, it works really well. When it comes to streaming games onto the GNOME desktop, on a computer with GNOME desktop, it works really well. With Wayland, on the other hand, it actually froze my computer a few times. My computer would not function. The cursor was completely frozen. I couldn't go to my TTY consoles. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even load up a terminal or nothing. So I had to manually power off my computer and restart it. Also, Steam is not working correctly when I launch it. Sometimes I just launch my friend list box, but it doesn't show the client box. And even when I click on the system tray to load up the library box, it doesn't load up the library at all. It doesn't even show the client. And then I have to close it and reload it until it shows the client. Then when it shows the client, I can't even do nothing with it. Like it's functioning, but like when it comes to like, cause I see animation, I see like the advertisement of their Steam sale, and like I see like it's working. Like it's not frozen. But when I want to click on the tabs like feature or library or community or whatever, I can't remember all the tabs by heart. But when you try to click on the tab on the client of the Steam client itself, it doesn't do anything. Like everything I point and click on stuff, it just doesn't do anything. The client's not frozen. It just does not detect any mouse like clicking on it. You know what I mean? Mouse input doesn't detect any of that. So that is why I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going back in GNOME because GNOME works well. Steam works good in GNOME. Even on an NVIDIA PC, I know we still need those drivers. We need the 555 drivers that was supposed to come out on May 15th, supposed to come out, or was estimated to come out around that time, and it's still delayed. We still do not have the beta drivers, and I don't know when that they're going to release it, but it's probably going to be a lot longer. Like we've been waiting for a long time to have decent drivers for NVIDIA GPUs. That's why I bought a bunch of AMD GPUs, and yeah. But I'll build myself a Gen 2 box / probably other systems on it because I want to do gaming on it as well. So I'll probably have Gen 2 and Arch Linux on it. Because I do have a bunch of SSDs on my old computer I don't use. So I got some SSDs I can use. I could put Arch Linux in Gen 2. So I want to get a good box for my TV. I want to build a little small mini PC. And I was thinking of like getting an Intel NUC Extreme. You can put GPUs in there. It's a pretty nice little computer. It's quite pricey, but it's no joke. It has 32 gigs of memory. It could be upgraded to 64, I think, or 128 gigabytes of memory. It's a decent computer. It can it definitely will run the RX 6600. It's capable of running that card. I don't think that GPU is that powerful. It's not really powerful. It's not like very very extreme card. I'm sure it can handle it. Um, so yeah, that's what I want to do, or I'm thinking about it, because I got lots of money that I saved up. Like I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't vape. I quit all this stuff. So a lot of the like me spending money on this all this kind of stuff in the past, um, I don't do it. So I basically have money just saved up in my bank account. So I can probably buy myself a really nice computer, even though I have a lot of computers already. As a hobbyist, a homebrew hub kind of guy, a homebrew guy in general, um, I want to get another computer. I do like the Intel Nook. I was thinking of getting like those little like mini Think Century computers, like a M9005P or whatever. I don't freaking know. Those little small mini like Think Century. Uh, they're quad cores though. They're not really. It's a refurbished computer. It's like 200. It's like $230 for one of them. But they have a lot of like USB ports, 3.1. It does support NVMe disk inside the little thing, and it's a quad core. It's not really the fastest thing in the world, but it's not that bad either. Um, but you won't be able to put a GPU in it, so like that's why I'm like, nah. I want to get like a small form factor computer where you can put a GPU inside of it, but it's small enough. You know what I mean? It's not really big. It's not like a small mini PC. It's not like a big large tower, but it's like compact. You know. So I want to build like a media PC because the B-Link is good, but I think that I want something a little bit more. Because the B-Link does not have a really good GPU, and I really can't put a GPU in it unless I'm not even sure if I can. I can get one of those, like those things where it's like a box you plug in a GPU and you can plug it into like a USB Type C port. It's external GPU kind of thing. You know what I mean? I just don't want. Those are expensive. I just don't want to bother with that. Or just buy like an Intel Nook, which has like a PCIe slot where you can put a GPU inside there, and the RX 6600 would be a good GPU for that. So I'm thinking of doing that. Slap in Arch Linux, slap in Gen 2, have like two good systems. I'll probably use Gen 2. I'll probably go crazy with Gen 2 on that. I like Arch Linux as well. I mean, I like both of them. I like Gen 2, and I want to get back into playing around with Gen 2 again, because I kind of miss Gen 2. And like I said, I don't hate Arch. Like I love Arch. I like Gen 2 as well. I like Gen 2. I'm a Gen 2 user as well. Like I'm not just an Arch Linux user, and so anyways, this rant's getting quite long, but I do like Gnome. I think it's a good system. I know like I always like complain about it, and I always want to get off it. And I'm always trying to find something better, but I'm always going back to Gnome because I think Gnome is actually a really good Wayland desktop environment. It's probably the best for me in that case. Like it works really well. I like Gnome. It is pretty beer, like vanilla GNOME, but like luckily we have extensions. You can do a lot of nice, like you can make GNOME really nice, and very very well. You can make GNOME a really good function desktop that works good for you. But out of the box, it's very basic. But then you look at it like you look at Wayland, not Wayland. You look at OpenBox. I mean, and Hyperland. I meant to say Hyperland. Like they're all pretty basic. Look at DWM. DWM is basic. A lot of systems are basic, right? So you customize it. I know Gnome, you can't do much customization with it. You can change the GTK theme, and you could add extensions to it, and you can make the dog visible, which should be visible out of the box by default. But unfortunately, it's not. But anyways, you can do that. You can make it visible. Anyways, I really like Gnome. I think it's a good desktop, and yeah, I'm definitely looking into another computer because I like to collect computers. I like computers, and I just like computers, and I want to buy another computer so I can have another computer to play around with Linux because I like Linux. Anyways, this is my video, and I hope you guys enjoy this rant. And if not, that's okay. I can't please everybody. But once again, I really appreciate all the people that sub to my channel and actually like my content. I appreciate it a lot. That's why I continue doing it. But I would still do it anyways. But I just like to say thank you for watching, and I wish you guys have a really good day. Cheers.